In this video, you will learn how to analyze a research paper. You will be learning the scientific practice skill of working with and understanding or analyzing scientific explanations and theories through breaking down a research paper. The learning objective for this video is for the student to be able to evaluate evidence provided by data to qualitatively and quantitatively investigate the role of natural selection in evolution.
Hey Michelle, what you doing?
I'm trying to read this research paper, but I have no idea what to do.
Well, what if I help? Here is this.
Okay, great, thanks.
In this video, we will be analyzing the research article entitled Unpredictable Evolution in a 30-Year Study of Darwin's Finches by Peter R. Grant and B. Rosemary Grant.
Okay, the value of the long-term studies in
wait.
the
You completely missed the abstract.
The what?
Okay, we're going to start with the basic anatomy of a research article.
Okay.
Okay?
Start with the title. This will specifically indicate the problem trying to be solved, and sometimes will include both the independent and dependent variable. Next, move on to the abstract. The abstract is a summary of the entire paper, and it will tell the significance of the paper. It usually has a word limit, around 200 words.
Oh, so the abstract's introduction.
No. The abstract is like an overview or summary of the paper.
Next is the introduction. This is the what and why. It provides basic background info as well as also explaining the significance. The research question hypothesis goes here, and it might include a reference to a review article on the subject. Then you move on to the methods. This is the how you completed your experiment in detail. This is like the materials and procedure of your lab report. Further down, and we get to the results. This is the analysis of your data. Here you present, you don't explain, but you can present with graphs, diagrams, and photos. The discussion/conclusion section is where you explain, and you offer alternate explanations and try to fit your data into a bigger picture, talking about its significance. On the last page will be your references and bibliography. A bibliography cites all the sources you used. A works cited cites only the sources you refer to in the paper. Most of the time, it's actually common that it will be alphabetized, and common formats include APA and MLA.
Oh, I get it now, thanks. Turns out this was in English after all. Okay. Okay, so now I'm ready to closely read this research article.
Need some tips?
No thanks. We learned how to read a research article before.
Alright.
Tips for closely reading a research article. Break up the text into chunks to read. Summarize the chunks in the left margin. Use the right margin to write down connections you find, whether it be connecting them to real-world events, yourself, or other texts. Don't be afraid to use question marks to indicate that you are unsure of or that you have questions about, or using exclamation marks to indicate things that surprise you. Circle repeated keywords and phrases. Underline any claims or any main statements.
Go.
Yeah, that's exactly what we learned in class.
Great, now I can analyze this research paper. Thanks.
Applying what we learned to an example. Now we are going to apply what we learned in the video to this example research article. Please pause the video and see if you can label the parts of the research paper. The proper labeling of this research paper should include the title here, the abstract here, the introduction in these two columns, and then from this point onward should be the methods and results with the charts. And starting at the conclusion label here onward, this should be your conclusion. And the last page with all the sources should be labeled bibliography. Using the close reading tips from the video, We will now analyze the abstract. Please take a minute and pause the video to read the abstract. As I read the abstract, I utilized some of the close reading techniques from the video. For instance, I underlined the important points of the paragraph. For example, I underlined evolution can be predicted in the short term, long-term evolution is unpredictable, environments fluctuate unpredictably. These 4 phrases make up the main idea of the abstract as well as the main idea of the entire research paper, which is that long-term evolution is unpredictable because environments change. Additionally, as I was reading the abstract, I came across a word that I was not familiar with, hybridization. I put a question mark. Then I looked up the definition of hybridization, which is to combine 2 species together to form a hybrid. So I wrote the definition in some free space. For some additional practice in closely reading a research article, utilize the tips that you learned from this video to analyze this research article.